Only in Kentucky could one county be home to a town named after a beeswax trade and have 3 courthouses burned down in less than 100 years. Hi, I'm Michael, and I'm learning a little bit more about Kentucky. One county at a time. All 120 of them. And today, I'm learning about Grayson County. If you haven't already, I do hope that you check out the other counties I've covered. They're all listed in the playlist on my profile, so please take a visit. If I haven't covered yours yet, I'll get to it soon. I promise. I'm going in mostly alphabetical order. And if you see that I skipped one, it probably means I'm saving it for the end because it'll need multiple parts. And as always, if I do miss something, feel free to berate me about it in the comments so we can all learn together. So Grayson County was officially established in 1810. It was the 54th county formed in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and the land was taken from parts of Hardin and Ohio counties. The county was named for William Grayson. He was a Revolutionary War colonel and a United States Senator from Virginia. He also served under General George Washington. Interestingly, George Washington himself owned 5,000 acres of land in present-day Grayson County. It was the only land that Washington ever owned in the state of Kentucky. He purchased it in 1788 on the southern shore of the Rough River, but unfortunately, Washington died before he ever had the chance to visit. The county seat is Litchfield. It was named for Major David Litch. He was a Revolutionary War veteran who owned much of the land in the area. After he died of pneumonia, his widow, Keturah Moss, donated the site for the town in 1810, but she made it a requirement that the town be named in his honor. The city eventually was incorporated by the state in 1866. The geography is defined by the Western Coalfield. It covers 511 square miles. The western third of the county is really the only part with any significant amount of coal. And the rest is known as the Clifty area. It is a rugged belt of sandstone bedrock, and this sandstone often contains bitumen, which is basically asphalt, and that's how the community of Tar Heel got its name. The county also sits on the Rough Creek Fault System. This geological feature creates a broken terrain that forced early settlers to build their roads along very specific ridges in the area. Settlement in the area actually predates the county and the state, of course. Pine Knob was settled around 1777. Pioneers chose it because of its abundant wildlife and fresh springs in the area. One of the oldest settlements is Millerstown. It was founded by Jacob Miller in the late 1700s. Industry here was historically tied to the land like much in the area. In Clarkson, the town's identity is built around the Walter T. Kelly Beehive Factory, world leader in beekeeping equipment apparently. And because of this factory, the Clarkson Honey Fest was named the official state honey festival of Kentucky in 2006. Of course, there's also the town of Wax. It took its name from the beeswax traded at a local general store back in the 1800s. Grayson County has a long, difficult history with fire. 3 separate courthouses in Litchfield were destroyed by flames. The first was on Christmas Eve in 1864. Confederate troops under General H.B. Lyon burned the building to keep Union forces from using it as a fort. And later fires in 1896 and again in 1936 destroyed almost all of the county's early records. So that's 3 fires in less than 100 years. The county also has a history of segregation, unfortunately. In 1871, a school for black students was established in Litchfield with help from the Freedmen's Aid Society. The centerpiece of the Grayson County history is the Green family in the Falls of Rough. This area sits right on the border of Grayson and Breckinridge counties. While the town spans the line, the heart of the Green family's massive industrial operation was situated in Grayson County. The power of the falls was first used for a mill in 1790 by George Wilson. In 1823, Willis Green purchased the land. By 1915, the Greens owned over 8,000 acres of land. It was the largest single farming operation in the state. Their mill produced over 6,000 barrels of flour every day. They sold 3 grades. Grayson Lily was the best, followed by White Rose, and then the lowest grade was simply called Good Enough. The Iron Arch Beam Bridge that spans the river was built in 1877 to link the Grayson and Breckinridge sides of the family estate. Another major highlight is Grayson Springs. In the 19th century, this was one of the most famous resorts in America. It was a destination sulfur spa. Guests would travel by train to Clarkson and then take a wagon to the resort. There were nearly 100 different sulfur springs on a single quarter-acre of land. And at its peak in 1900, the resort had 4 hotels and 600 rooms. If you go to Litchfield, you'll find the Jack Thomas House, built around 1810. It is the oldest brick house in the county. Jack Thomas was the first county clerk and served for 41 years. The house was originally just a 1-story, 2-room brick building with a loft. By 1840, Jack and his wife Jane had 8 children and needed more space, as you can imagine. They added a large 2-story wing that changed the entrance to face East Main Street. The house features uniform log joists and a beautiful walnut staircase. It was sold in 1884 to George Gardner, who founded the Litchfield Deposit Bank. And the bank actually planned to tear the house down in 1978, but the Historical Society and the Litchfield Women's Club raised the money to save it. So it now serves as the county's museum and genealogical library. In the 1960s, the county's identity shifted towards tourism. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers built Rough River Lake in 1961 and Nolan Lake in 1963. These twin lakes created a massive economy for boating and fishing. Caneyville is also home to the Caneyville Christian community. They are an Old Order Anabaptist group. They aren't Amish or Mennonite or anything like that, but they seem to live a very plain lifestyle and with horse and buggies. This community is famous for manufacturing pioneer-made wood cook stoves. The business was started by the Stoll brothers, who moved to the rugged backcountry of Caneyville to join the community. The stoves are built in a facility powered by an antique steam engine. They are known for their downdraft intake and are sold to people all over the country looking for a simpler way of life. On April 26, 2011, 2 tornadoes hit Tar Hill during a super outbreak. An EF2 tornado with a path 3 miles long destroyed homes and threw heavy farm equipment 50 yards. In December 2021, the historic tornado that leveled Mayfield finally came to an end right at the Grayson and Breckenridge County line near the Rough River Dam. For local culture, the Pine Knob Diner and Amphitheater has been performing outdoor plays about local history and hoodoo holler since 1987. Beyond the main cities, there are smaller spots like Big Clifty and Shrewsbury. Shrewsbury was actually an incorporated city in 1895 before it declined. Other unincorporated places include Annetta, Peonia, Sadler, and Wax, as mentioned, and the Wax Post Office actually operated for over 100 years before eventually closing in 1994, so some of you probably remember it very well still. Today, the population is around 27,000 people. So, that's Grayson County. What'd I get wrong this time?